Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Tia Denise. Today we're going to be doing some magnetic bookmarks. I thought it'd be kind of fun. It's a little easy project, a little bit complicated, but not too bad. It's honestly pretty easy. We're going to use Cricut Design Space, some of these printable magnetic sheets, and away we go. Basic stuff with Cricut Design Space. Sorry if you hear my chair squeak. Basically take an image. It can be one without the outside of an offset for a sticker or whatever. Sorry, I feel like I'm out of breath today. So what we're going to do is upload Design Space like normal. Come up with any kind of images. Upload your favorite image that you like. As you can currently see, I already have some on there, but I want to show you little by little. This one already has an offset for a sticker already on it. So we're going to go ahead and take an image. I typically like to stay within about 1.5 to 2 inches wide for my images. You just don't want something that's going to be too wide on your page for your book. So basically you're going to go ahead and size that to how you want to do this. Like I've always said, in anything that you do or that we all do on this channel, it's customizable. So you're going to go ahead and right click and do duplicate, and you're going to do I can't even talk today. You're basically going to flip it and do a vertical flip on it. So that way when it flips over to the other side of the page, those two images will actually match up. I'm kind of showing you with these little bees that there's a little piece in between, which we're going to go ahead and make in just a second. So to keep those little bunnies aligned, I'm going to go ahead and click on both of those so I can select them both. And then we're going to go ahead and do align and then align horizontally. I think I totally forgot to do that. But now we're going to do the inside part, the part that actually goes over top of that little page. So you're going to take a square. It's a free shape in Design Space. Go ahead and click it to make it a small little rectangle that's kind of longer that fits over top of both those images, because you don't want it too skinny or too thick. You want it just about right. I'm not exactly sure what the measurements are. I can have all my measurements listed below that work, but you can make this any color. You can do white, you can do color, you can do anything. But you do want to make sure that you do go and make sure that it is a print then cut or flatten the image. That way it's not a basic cut. So I'm just making that background a different color so you can kind of see what I'm doing a little easier. And you do that by going at the bottom right, hit blank canvas, and you can click the color. So like I did with that little peach colored little strip is I went in and clicked on it, moved it to the back, and then I did it as a print and cut. Then I'm going to go ahead and select all three of those, the two bunnies and the little piece, and I flattened those. I'm going to go ahead and make those how big or how little I want. And I'm just using this for an example. I'm kind of adding to what I already printed. Now, here's the thing. With these, with writing on them, when you go to flip them, they're going to be backward. It doesn't matter. I've tried every way possible. The easiest way I found to do this is just to get the same shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to find something with some writing so I can show you step by step exactly what to do. So I went through all my images, kind of found one, and I was like, okay, yeah, that'll work. So I did the I'm a reader. What's your superpower? I really like that. I do like to read. But okay, so I went and put that image onto the canvas and added that so we can go ahead and work with that image just to show you what the different possibilities that you can do with wording, because if you put an offset, there's something extra you have to look for. And I believe I showed you this with my plastic charms, or the pins, that there's a certain way you need to do it, because otherwise it's going to cut the inside of that image. So what I did with this is I went ahead and resized it down. I kind of resized it back up again just so you could kind of see what I was working with. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and work with Create Sticker. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. I do it as a kiss cut because then it goes around the outside edges of it. It pretends. Honestly, though, you can really do either one. Just stick with a kiss cut. It's probably a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to go with a border. We're going to do standard. It's going to go ahead and work its magic. My computer is slow. And I put the fill color as white. And then you'll just hit apply. You can leave it like that. And then what you'll end up doing is you'll just select both of those layers, and then you'll end up flattening those to create, well, it's actually already a print and then cut anyway, but sorry, you want to flatten it. So I took that off of there. Now I'm going to go ahead and use an offset. So I go to the offset, and I just left it what it comes up with, like a default. It's like it's 0.25. And I'll let that kind of cycle through. And then you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, what you need to do as an extra step. See the little blue dot between the R and, or the E and the A? That's going to cut if you don't mess with it. So what I do is I select it and I make it a basic cut up at the top. It's going to do as a print and cut, but you want to make that offset go up to the right there. And then you're going to go to basic cut. You're going to click on contour while it's on the offset. Right there, see it's on offset, go to contour. And then that little piece, hit hide all contours, the fastest way to do it, and then X. There you go, it's done. So then you can change the color, go to print and cut, because you have to make it back to a print and cut, and then click on white. That gives you that little border. That's one way that you can do that. But I'm going to show you what happens if I accidentally hit that by accident. So now it's got to go back and center it again. What you'll do is you'll select those two. I'm going to show you what happens. If you go ahead and you flip those, we'll duplicate it, and then you flip it and then invert it vertically. There we go. Duplicate and then ta-da, flip vertical. I'm always ahead of myself. See what happens? Think of it this way. When you go to fold that over on the other side of that piece of paper, that page, it's going to read backward on the other side. Doesn't matter if you flip it one way or flip it the other. You want it to match up because you want that magnet to be as strong as it can be. So that doesn't work with writing. I mean, if you're okay with that, it's fine. I mean, if you want to have the writing, it's just going to look backward on the other side. Here's a bypass option. You can kind of see what I already did already with the ones that I have already shown in that little grouping. So what I did is I went ahead and put a rectangle around them. So you can do this where you just take the offset and do it that way. I don't like that. I think it looks weird. I'm not going to lie. That looks super weird. So what I do is I take a shape. You can use a free shape. You can use one of the other shapes that if you have the subscription, you can use a different shape. I just like the rounded rectangle look for me. That's just me. Like I said, it's customizable. Go ahead and unlock the shape. Make it however you'd like. Bring it to the back so that way that is underneath of that bookmark that we're trying to create. And then size it right around it. Perfect. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and go change. I always change the color. So I just go up to the color and make it white. And then I have to change it from a basic cut to a print then cut. And then make sure that those are selected and that, see, go ahead and select those. Go to flatten and it's already flattened because it's already set as a print then cut. So what you do is go to that shape, duplicate just the shape, and then see, you don't have to flip it because it's the same. And then you take another shape to put the little bookmark thing that goes in the middle. Or you can just do what I did and horizontally align them. OCD me. And there you go. You find your shape that you want to make for that tag that goes over top of the page. I really hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. And then you'll unlock that shape. Make it skinny, not too skinny, skinny enough. So, and then you're going to go ahead and select all of those, align them horizontally, make that the color that you want, and then go to print and cut. You don't have to move it to the back. I just did just out of habit, even though it's still under print and cut. There we go. See, now you're good. Perfect. I think I still did send to the back. No, I did have to select them. Sorry, select and then flatten. Now you got a sticker. When all of those are all together and it says flatten and then print and cut, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. You know that those are going to print and then cut around the edges. That's how I always remember it. Print, then cut around the edge. So basically I'm taking off the ones that I just did because the example that I actually printed out and showed you guys has just those in it. I have a template that I use. I do have one on my website. If you go ahead and go to the files, you'll find it. Corinne Blackstone came up with the original one. I liked her option. You do have to resize it up at the top under the sizing option, but to the proper width and the proper height. If you change one of them, it's going to automatically change it to the correct one. Make sure that they're in between in the blue, but you're also going to kind of make sure that none of them are sticking outside of that blue. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. But that template is good. Select them all, attach them so they all print on the same piece of paper, and then away we go. I do want to say, I did get a new printer. I got the EcoTank 2800, which I already had one for sublimation, but I really love it. So everybody's printing options are going to be different going through this. But I'm going to go ahead and play some music. You can watch it while it goes, and I will be right back. I promise. I know you guys miss me already. Okay, I love you guys too much to bore you with it actually printing, but this is what it looks like once it prints onto the magnetic sheets. Now we're going to be working with the Cricut mat and get it all laid down. So what I went ahead and did is I used a regular mat. I mean, you can use a strong mat. Honestly, I kind of interchange my mats because they're kind of the same stickiness after you clean them for a while. But I just use frog tape, painter's tape, any kind of paint, any kind of tape, like painter's tape, because that way it comes off cleaner. Don't you love my manicure? I know. It bugs me. My gel nail polish came off of my thumb, and I was like, I am so real. We're not even going to do my nail. Not for this. So we go ahead and we just place those right around the edges just to make it a little bit more secure. For me, that just seems to work better. I've tried to not do the sides, and it likes to buckle up and pull up for some reason. I hate that it does that, but it's okay. Lesson learned. Just make sure that you do all 4 sides. Believe me, learn from me. Don't waste your material. I don't want you to waste money like I had to waste money to figure all of this out. I have probably done about 10 magnetic sheets or more before I finally figured out, okay, this actually works out really well. Not perfect, but it works for me. And I'm okay with that. So, yay. Let's go on to the next thing. Okay, to the fun part where we're cutting it. So in your all materials, you're going to go ahead and search it. Type in magnetic. Sorry if you can see my screen recording stuff. Hey, look, it's me. I'm actually working. You're going to click on the 0.5 millimeter, or it's millimeter, 0.5 millimeter. That works best for what the material I'm using for. You're going to have to try other things. Make sure it's set at default and a fine point blade, okay? One cut should work. If it doesn't, I kind of sped it up for you because it's kind of boring watching it. But one cut should work. It's reading the registration marks. It shouldn't have a problem because it's matte. There it goes. It's cutting it away, blah, 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 all the fun, groovy stuff. So it does. So if it doesn't, just hit the Cricut button again. Do not unload the mat. Always make sure that it actually cut all the way through before you remove it. So I did. I made sure it cut all the way through because I kind of pulled that apart. So be careful though, because like little flower, no, I think that one was okay. But what you're going to do is basically just kind of pop those out if they pop them out, and then you're going to match them up to the other side as much as you can and kind of fold them down. You'll just take them all off of there. So I just kind of removed the painter's tape, remove the magnetic sheet, kind of like you're going to do with a piece of paper. Honestly though, the magnets, it really does not matter how you remove them from the Cricut mat. All right, there's me boringly removing all of my painter's tape, blah, blah, blah. You really didn't need to see that. I don't know why I'm not editing it out. It's kind of boring. But anyway, real life. Okay, so you're going to see how easily, they just kind of like pop right on out of there. Alrighty. Apparently I became OCD with the tape and wanted to get that off, and then I'm just like, yeah. I'm good. I'm going to have to throw that sheet away. Anyway, it's not like I can really reuse it. Unless you all have some ideas on how to reuse the magnetic sheets. Well, let me know. I'm all about it. All right. So see, they just kind of pop right on out of there. Boom. Easy, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. See, some of those I made a little thicker in the middle. Some of those I made a little thinner. You don't want them too thin, but you also don't want them too thick. So there is that. And here's our little magnets. So what you're going to do is basically fold them over on itself, match them up to the other side, And this is where I'm going to show you. The other side matches up if it's like a full image, no writing, like a full image, like the boot would match up. The bee is going to match up. The bird is going to match up because it's not like a writing where you're going to have something in complete reverse of it. But, so I basically fold those over on each other, and there's a little thicker one. There, see? I like to try to make sure that they're in because you're actually going to be next taking a heavier book, a heavier item to place on those for at least about an hour or so, just so it kind of makes a memory for that magnetic material. So it kind of stays together. These are, seriously, these are easy to make and they're so fun. It's really inexpensive. Especially if you want to do like a craft fair or like for gifts or something like that. Super easy, super fun. Gosh, I think this is one of the longer videos I had. See my manicure? That's so bad. That's so bad. Do y'all paint your nails all the time? I try to. I really try to. Alrighty, so here's my little look on my glass mat that reflects everything. Alright, so I grabbed a book. That's my adventuring with the Bible. Kind of helps you without having to ask every single question on every single word, but it walks you through your Bible. It's a cool book, just FYI, my mother-in-law gave it to me. But after they sit underneath that book for a while, you're going to see how flat they get. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to show you, I think I show you in one of the in like one of the pages. I'm going to stick it on a page. Yep. So you can kind of see how it looks and how it works. So basically open it up and it's pretty strong for that one little piece of paper. Look at that, boom, clipped right in there. Yes. And you see on the opposite side, that's why I said it's easier to have a simple, plain image versus writing on the other side. See, it's just easier. And then look at this, you can pull it right back up just like that. Yay. Super cute, super fun. I love it. I really hope y'all saw some value in this video. If you could, give it a thumbs up for a like. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of it. Any ideas, tips, or tricks on any of this stuff? I love constructive criticism. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will talk to you later. Bye.